You haven't been out here long, guys. And that's what you get on Houghton Lake. One of the most important things to remember about Houghton Lake is this is Michigan's premier vacation lake for the last 50 years for a reason, because you catch everything. Stay tuned. We have no idea what we're going to catch next. Another bass, nicer ones. Tell you what, that's a nice one. We'll show you a real nice bass. And John will probably get back to driving because we're fighting a weed line, but there you go. That little magic color, White Magic Walleye Nation Creation Boogie Shad number 5. That's fish number 3 for that bait. And like John said, we may have to put another one of those on. I just did, actually. And I missed a hit just a couple minutes before. But again, one of the reasons Houghton Lake is probably one of the best destinations for vacations, and I'll let this girl go, is simply because kids can come out here with moms and dads, and families can come out here, and you can just put a spread of shallow dive and crankbaits like a boogie shad out, and you can catch bass, walleye, northern pike, perch, crappie. All 5 of those are really, really present when you're crankbait fishing. And if you wanted to slow down a live bait fish, whether it's bobbers, you know, this is one of the best pan fishing lakes anywhere in the state. Has been for decades. I know sometimes people complain about the weeds, but the weeds are the very reason that this lake holds so many fish. So Houghton Lake, as far as vacations is concerned, it's one of the best places in the state to go. There you go. Fish on. I saw that one hit, Johnny. Huh?
Good place, man.
Oh, he's getting the drum. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a nice one, John. And this right here, guys, one of the most underrated bass fisheries anywhere in the state of Michigan, John, right?
Yep, for sure. There's a lot of big bass in this lake, especially the smallmouth get huge.
Look at that. Awesome fish. I love it. And John and I were just talking, John, talk about it. It's about catching fish, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm like a kid.
For sure, this lake is the best lake to come around and just catch fish.
It is, it's awesome. And I'm telling you what, I just love feeling the fight and the tug. It's great. John's fished here his whole life. He's lucky to have done that, but take a look at that big one.
We'll let him go back for another day.
Had my foot on it. Trying to check my precision trolling app for where this lure was running that I keep catching fish on. Well, I don't care where it's running, it's catching fish. This is fighting like a walleye.
Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Angler Quest, built with purpose. Traxstech, the ultimate fishing system. Strike King, tie one on. Garmin.
Make loading and unloading your boat easy with the Drotto Catch and Release Automatic Boat Latch. Load with ease. Simply drive on the trailer and the Drotto will automatically latch to your bow eye. A hard plastic liner protects your boat. For launching, back your boat in, pull the release lever, and away you go. For roller or bunk trailers, the Drotto is quick and easy to install and works with most V-hull boats. Spend less time at the landing and more time fishing. The Drotto Catch and Release Automatic Boat Latch. Online at DrottoProducts.com.
Fighting like a walleye.
And bass like to trick you, though.
Bass will trick us, yeah. But
it's staying down.
It is staying down, and you know that
looks like a walleye.
That looks like a walleye too. Yeah. Tell you what, the crankbaits, John said it earlier, you never know if it's the spinners or the crankbaits.
It's a rock bass.
Oh, big Rocky. Another species, John. That's you talked about world-class fish present in this lake.
Rock bass are huge.
The rock bass are huge, absolutely. When you can lip a rock bass, he took that thing in. I could never.
There we go.
There you go, fish on.
Staying down.
Beautiful bluegill. I'm actually glad we caught that. Show that off because that's what you've been talking about, John.
Yeah, they're giants.
World-class sunfish. I'm eating him, John.
Alrighty. There's a lot bigger ones too.
Now, do you catch those? Talk about that fishery, John.
They're unbelievable out here. You get into them, you catch a lot of them. Ice fishing at the end of the season, you end up, they move in and get ready to stage for spawning before the thaw, but they come in and it's unbelievable to catch them. But you get out in the weeds and you go around and move around and find them and you will catch them. And there's a lot of them. And they are giants. It feels like you catch a 15-inch walleye when you hook them, especially on an ice fishing rod. It's unbelievable.
that fought like a walleye.
They fight, yeah. I call them mini smallmouth bass out here because that's what they fight like.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, John and I talked about it, how we're just fishermen. We like catching fish. It doesn't matter if it's a sunfish, a bass, a walleye, a pike, a crappie. We just like catching fish. When you see a fish like that come into the boat, I mean, I just get excited. It's a lot of fun. And I'm telling you what, if you're watching this show and you're thinking, hey man, you know what? You could take kids out there and have a great time. That's exactly right. So we were working a drop off really hard. John was working harder than a guy should have to work to get a bite, but he did it and got himself a nice bite, and that's what you want. Well, we're gonna show you a beautiful Houghton Lake mix bag. This is the Houghton Lake that John knows the best, right, John?
Yep.
Good job.
Nice walleye.
That's a nice one. If you know what you're doing, John, right? You can catch these fish if you work at it.
Yes.
That's a beauty too. It's about a 18 to 19, 20 incher. Awesome fish. Now tell you what, John, talking about the eating quality of the fish here out of Houghton.
Yes, they are some of the best eating fish. I fished all over the United States and different lakes and everything, and Canada and Minnesota got some good tasting fish, but Houghton Lake's definitely got the best tasting panfish, and the walleye are good too, but some of the best eating fish are my favorite out of this lake.
Beautiful. We're gonna go right back in after another one. We'll try to work this edge. We've been looking for an edge. And one of the things that John pointed out to me, and you just saw it firsthand there, is that you can put boards out if you want, and you might catch a few fish on them. But John, you catch a majority of your fish with a rod in your hand, correct?
Yes, definitely. Working the line and you can feel the weeds because the whole lake's loaded with weeds, so trying to stay out of them and getting snagged up in them, it's a lot easier to do it with the pole in your hand.
Tip number one, guys, take it from an expert. Keep that rod in your hand and, go ahead and set a board out and it'll catch you some fish as it did this morning. But when you're in the thick weeds where those walleyes are, you got to have that rod in your hand. Good job, John.
Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Kraft, the toughest built aluminum boats, bar none. Dreamweaver, home of the revolutionary Spin Doctor. Lose, feel the difference. WavePro, best ride on the water.
We all want to keep moving, and we all need fuel to do it. Now, with the revolutionary Flow Fast system, you can fuel up and keep moving from literally anywhere. Flow Fast will pump or siphon an amazing 8 gallons per minute, so you can get back to what you do best. To find out more about Flow Fast, go to flowfast.com. Flow Fast. Fuel up. Keep moving.
Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Offshore Tackle Products, FlowFast, world's leading portable fluid transfer system. Drotto, catch and release boat system.
That's a big perch.
That's a big perch.
I'll get him. I'll bush him right in.
Told her there's some dandies in this lake.
Guys, that's a perfect example of short lining. So what I did, so John's been working these weed edges, and I've been keeping this Walleye Nation creation soaking, and it's caught bass and it's caught perch, but boy, I'll tell you what, guys, that is a jumbo. And what I did was I just short lining it above the weeds, so 18 feet out, literally just 18 feet out off the board. And you can see he took that thing right in, and that's gonna be part of my Houghton Lake dinner that I'm gonna feed my wife tonight. So far we've got a walleye, we've got a big sunfish, and that's a very respectable, beautiful perch. And this is how you just fish Houghton Lake. You cannot be selective, guys. You have to take what bites. That's how you fish this lake. You just put good baits out. So this is a boogie shed number 5 to those of you guys watching the show. This is just a good solid bait on this lake because you can short line it. You can hit the weeds, it seems like, a few times with this bait. And because it's a lip forward bait, it'll pop forward like this and pop off the weeds and not get totally messed up. And again, just pay attention to your graph. When you see the tops of the weeds, just go to your precision trolling app and run this just a little higher than the weeds. 18 foot down, monster perch.
There we go.
Fish on. Get him. Get him, Johnny.
That's a good one.
Good one too. Big walleye.
Dandy.
Oh.
That's a big walleye.
Yeah, baby. Mr. Eager is doing his thing. Oh, Johnny, that's an awesome. Look at that right in the net, guys, before we take it out. That is a beaut, John.
That's a dandy. For Houghton Lake, that's a big, whoop.
Just allow me to catch that again in my ego net. Look at that. John, that's a nice fish.
Very nice fish.
Show that off.
Dandy.
Awesome, awesome fish.
Well, I think you're gonna have a good dinner tonight now.
Yeah, I think dinner is just done.
You ain't gonna have to fight over dinner now. That's a good one.
Guys, so what you can see on the screen there, Brett's showing you right now, we got bait fish in this area. And this is bottom weeds. And every once in a while, you'll get some higher weeds. And then we're pulling our stuff right through the tops. This is only 10 foot here, see? Right there. Little clusters of fish that are holding just above these weeds. And John's just working that spinner slowly. I'm pulling, cause see, you see it mound up right there? That's a weed. That's weed right there. It's that whole bunch is weed. So we're just pulling through that 7-8 foot right at the very tops of the weeds. That's the key. And seems like if you just keep your stuff engaged, keep it moving, keep it clean, you'll catch fish here on Houghton Lake. We wanted this. We're working on every species known to man on Houghton Lake. Yeah, John, great job. Thank you. You see that little boogie shed? You can see it right there. You can't make that up. I mean, there it is. And those eat really good. We're gonna let them go, but unless John wants to eat them. But those are really good eating fish out of this lake, aren't they? Let them go. It's a beauty. Thank you, Mr. Northern.
Oh, that's a big one.
It's a big one. I'm gonna slow down. One knot.
Hook came out.
That's a beauty. Another beauty. It is all about adjustments, isn't it? Because we quit catching them at the other spot and we came here. Awesome job, John.
Yep. Yeah, one. Oh,
You had him.
and the lure come out perfect.
Perfect. Lure's out in the net. John will show that one off. Another pike. Not as big as the first two, but I'll tell you what, a lot of fun. A lot of fun out here. Sun's coming out. It's getting calm out. We're gonna keep on fishing. But John, thank you for taking me
for sure.
fishing.
It's been a blast.
Been a blast. Houghton Lake, Michigan, guys. I've said it before during the show. You got to put this on your little bucket list of places to come. John's shown me a lot of things about this lake that I didn't know. And one of them is that we explored both spinners and crankbaits in and around the weeds and caught just so many different species of fish. And you know what? Taking a nice group of walleyes home, some nice sunfish, perch. I'm happy as a clam. Thanks for joining us here on Fisherman's Digest. We'll see you again next week. And thanks to Houghton Lake for showing me a great time today.